Pythagoras Top 95 Quotes. Number rules the universe. Learn to be silent. Let your quiet mind listen and absorb. The highest goal of music is to connect one's soul to their divine nature, not entertainment. As long as man continues to be the ruthless destroyer of lower living beings, he will never know health or peace. For as long as men massacre animals, they will kill each other. Man, know thyself, then thou shalt know the universe and God. God built the universe on numbers. No one is free who has not obtained the empire of himself. No man is free who cannot command himself. In anger we should refrain both from speech and action. Be silent, or let thy words be worth more than silence. Concern should drive us into action and not into a depression. No man is free who cannot control himself. Silence is better than unmeaning words. Learn silence. With the quiet serenity of a meditative mind, listen, absorb, transcribe, and transform. The oldest, shortest words, yes and no, are those which require the most thought. It is better to be silent than to dispute with the ignorant. Do not go to bed until you have gone over the day 3 times in your mind. What wrong did I do? What good did I accomplish? What did I forget to do? There is geometry in the humming of the strings. There is music in the spacing of the spheres. Number is the ruler of forms and ideas, and the cause of gods and demons. The wise man should be prepared for everything that does not lie within his control. Rest satisfied with doing well, and leave others to talk of you as they please. If there be light, then there is darkness; if cold, heat; if height, depth; if solid, fluid; if hard, soft; if rough, smooth; if calm, tempest; if prosperity, adversity; if life, death. A stone is frozen music. The beginning of every government starts with the education of our youth. Number is the within of all things. Some are slaves of ambition or money, but others are interested in understanding life itself. These give themselves the name of philosophers, and they value the contemplation and discovery of nature beyond all other pursuits. Reason is immortal, all else mortal. If you're asked, what is the silence? Respond, it is the first stone of the wisdom's temple. Let exercise alternate with rest. Above the cloud with its shadow is the star with its light. Above all things reverence thyself, but respect yourself most of all. None but God is wise. The stars in the heavens sing a music, if only we had ears to hear. Each celestial body, in fact each and every atom, produces a particular sound on account of its movement, its rhythm or vibration. All these sounds and vibrations form a universal harmony in which each element, while having its own function and character, contributes to the whole. Geometry is knowledge of the eternally existent. Friendship is one soul in 2 bodies. Salt is born of the purest parents, the sun and the sea. Don't try to cover your mistakes with false words. Rather, correct your mistakes with examination. Wisdom, thoroughly learned, will never be forgotten. Choose rather to be strong of soul than strong of body. Educate the children, and it won't be necessary to punish the men. There is a good principle which created order, light, and man, and an evil principle which created chaos, darkness, and woman. Choose always the way that seems the best, however rough it may be. Custom will soon render it easy and agreeable. Astonishing. Everything is intelligent. A thought is an idea in transit. Lust weakens both body and mind. Music is the harmonization of opposites, the conciliation of warring elements. There is no word or action but has its echo in eternity. The soul of man is divided into three parts: intelligence, reason, and passion. Intelligence and passion are possessed by other animals, but reason by man alone. Time is the soul of this world. As soon as you awake, in order lay the actions to be done the coming day. A man is never as big as when he is on his knees to help a child. The wind is blowing. Adore the wind. Numbers have a way of taking a man by the hand and leading him down the path of reason. Alas, what wickedness to swallow flesh into our own flesh, to fatten our greedy bodies by cramming in other bodies, to have one living creature fed by the death of another. Truth is so great a perfection, that if God would render himself visible to men, he would choose light for his body and truth for his soul. So in life, some enter the services of fame and others money, but the best choice is that of those few who spend their time in the contemplation of nature, and as lovers of wisdom. Animals share with us the privilege of having a soul. If you have a wounded heart, touch it as little as you would an injured eye. There are only two remedies for the suffering of the soul: hope and patience. Anger begins in folly, and ends in repentance. Strength of mind rests in sobriety, for this keeps your reason unclouded by passion. Speak not nor act before thou hast reflected. Government exists only for the good of the governed. Hate and fear breed a poison in the blood, which if continued, affects eyes, ears, nose and the organs of digestion. Therefore, it is not wise to hear and remember the unkind things others might say about you. Do not talk a little on many subjects, but much on a few. It is better wither to be silent, or to say things of more value than silence. Sooner throw a pearl at hazard than an idle or useless word, and do not say a little in many words, but a great deal in a few. Don't disarrange my circles. Bless us, divine number, who generated gods and men. Number contains the root and source of eternally flowing creation. You should make great things, not promising great things. None can be free who is a slave to, and ruled by, his passions. Remind yourself that all men assert that wisdom is the greatest good, but that there are few who strenuously seek out that greatest good. Let no one persuade you by word or deed to do or say whatever is not best for you. Declining from the public ways, walk in unfrequented paths. As soon as laws are necessary for men, they are no longer fit for freedom. Assist a man in raising a burden, but do not assist him in laying it down. Allow not sleep to close your eyes before 3 times reflecting on your actions of the day. What deeds done well, what not, what left undone? Thought is an idea in transit, which when once released, never can be lured back, nor the spoken word recalled. Friends are as companions on a journey, who ought to aid each other to persevere in the road to a happier life. We ought so to behave to one another as to avoid making enemies of our friends, and at the same time to make friends of our enemies. Practice justice in word and deed, and do not get in the habit of acting thoughtlessly about anything. Every man has been made by God in order to acquire knowledge and contemplate. Wealth is a weak anchor, and glory cannot support a man. This is the law of God, that virtue only is firm, and cannot be shaken by a tempest. Let not sleep fall upon thy eyes till thou hast thrice reviewed the transactions of the past day. Where have I turned aside from rectitude? What have I been doing? What have I left undone, which I ought to have done? Above all, have respect for yourself. Write in the sand the flaws of your friend. It is difficult to walk at one and the same time many paths of life. Practice restraint over the following: appetite, first, as well as sleep, lust, and anger. Respect gods before demigods, heroes before men, and first among men your parents, but respect yourself most of all. He buries gold who hides the truth. The octave formed a circle and gave our noble earth its form. Do not despise anyone, an atom shadowing. Above all things, respect yourself. Don't eat your heart. We come from God. As the tree from the root and the stream from the spring, that's why we should always be in contact with Him, as the trunk from the root. Because the stream dries up when it is separated from the spring, and the tree dies when it is uprooted. Having departed from your house, turn not back, for the Furies will be your attendants. The experience of life in a finite, limited body is specifically for the purpose of discovering and manifesting supernatural existence. Govern your tongue before all other things, following the gods. It is only necessary to make war with 5 things: with the maladies of the body, the ignorances of the mind, with the passions of the body, with the seditions of the city, and the discords of families. When the wise man opens his mouth, the beauties of his soul present themselves to the view, like the statues in a temple. Instruct thyself, for time and patience favor all.